how can you even have a drag racing news show and not talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Donald the Duck Long, the mayor of drag radio racing? Donald, how are you, my man?
Good, brother. Good. Glad to be here, man. Glad to talk about something other than COVID-19.
Isn't that the truth, man? I mean, unfortunately, it's like the elephant not in the room, but in the world, right? It's unavoidable. We're all fighting this battle day in and day out. And I'm just curious, as you kind of reflect back on the last few weeks, how do you feel? And can you kind of walk us through that decision of pulling the plug or postponing the Sweet 16? I can't imagine what that must have felt like and what that experience must have been like.
I mean, it was definitely, a bad shot in the gut. It was, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was depressed about it. I don't like to ever change or postpone. I mean, I'll run through blizzards, tornadoes, hurricanes.
You've done it.
I've done it. You know what I mean? And I would have, if I thought it was safe, I would have ran through this one. The problem that we ran into was talking with the mayor and stuff, was that we would get everybody in one place. And basically, he sent out the letter, doing the recommendations on what they wanted us to do. And I was afraid. I didn't feel like it was fair for racers, fans, or anybody to make the haul down there to get on the planes. And I've done it. I've been that guy who flew up to Englishtown, and by the time my plane landed, it got canceled. So I didn't want anybody to feel like that. I didn't want anybody to spend any extra money. I knew it was going to be bad on how many people already had spent, plane tickets and all that. But I was assured by Expedia and everybody that we talked to that we were going to be able to get these things rearranged due to, being a virus. So I checked in all that before I made the decision to pull the plug on it.
It's amazing that you thought about like taking it that far, right? Like that you would even think to call Expedia. And I mean, I suppose at this point in time, you have to feel good about having made that decision, right?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I still wasn't real happy, obviously with having to do it, because I wanted to keep, you want to keep everything going. You want to keep America going. I mean, who knew it was going to get this bad? But I'll tell you when it sank in and I thought, you know what? I made the right decision was when Bobby Bennett from Competition Plus actually said that he got it, went through everything. And I thought, man, this guy would have been up in the tower with me on those exact dates if he would have been there. And then, I don't want to be the person that kills anybody, especially, here we go down in the food tent. Now I'm with my parents. How would that feel if I killed my own parents? You know what I mean? Dragging this thing around. And so it was a call that just had to be made,
So with all the changes, obviously in the short term, you've got your events rescheduled for October, back-to-back weekends. You guys starting to plan on, what's the event's going to look like from here on out? Like, where do we go from here? Has it kind of been talking to the mayor, talking to the track? What are your thoughts?
So I feel like the Sweet 16 type of racing is going to be what you're going to be seeing coming up. Like, not getting away from the whole question, but I think you're going to see this all come back, obviously, in a smaller way. I don't think that anybody is just going to open up and go, okay, let's put 60,000 people in a football stadium next Sunday. You know what I mean? That's not the way it's going to open back up. I think that, I think there's going to be some pay-per-view or some live feed. There's going to be some stuff like that going on. I'm hoping by October, obviously I hope everything's great for No Mercy. I feel 100% sure that having 500 or 600 people in one place outdoors, I don't think that's going to be any problem by October. And I hope that everybody, getting together outside will be better. But I'm definitely planning on smaller shootouts with just, if we have to, just with racers and crew and no spectators, if that's what we have to do.
Well, it feels like you're ready to embrace that, right? You're ready to embrace the notion of these smaller kind of underground type events. I heard a bunch of scuttlebutt here recently that you were contemplating, and I think made official recently that you were going to try to put together an event such as this, a small participation, invite only type of deal, pay-per-view deal. Can you give us a little bit of an idea what kind of tricks you have up your sleeve?
So this morning, Ozzy Moya, Orlando, he owns Orlando in South Georgia. He sent off to the governor what we're wanting to do right now. At any time safely in the near future, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in that time frame or whatever, when they decide, we're wanting to do. I want to at least bring in 12 cars, park them 150 foot apart. Just to try to stay within guidelines. Each crew having three crew members, one driver, a total of maybe 50, 60 people total, no spectators, and we're ready to do a shootout. I actually Stevie Jackson and Phil Schuler are locked in. Marcus Bird is locked in. The Deckers are locked in. Melanie Salemi's locked in. David Reese is locked in. So we have the heavy hitters. They're ready to come and race. Hell, they'd come race for free. But we want to try to make it something for them guys, and do some type of pay-per-view, something cheaper. I'm hoping maybe $5, $6, $7 a piece or something. Really, I don't even care if we give it all to the racer. I think that it's something though that we might all need to do. I think that it would help out everybody's mental state if we could get some kind of little shootout going.
So speaking about the racers and transitioning a little bit away from Corona, as a promoter, I know you focus on the racers. How do you go about working with the racers to make your events better?
Well, it's a little difficult right now, obviously,
Right.
But what I always like to do is stay ahead of the curve on what the classes and what they want to do. Like if we need to step up to something different, I don't want to be. I think by talking to the racers, I don't want to be sitting here 2 years from now doing something that's stagnant, that's just sitting here that nobody really cares about. You know what I mean? If like talking to the racers, I felt like Pro 275, which is, you could call it a spinoff of Radio versus the World. You still have the baddest chassis guys out there, or Mentor Motorsports. Or, you have all the pro line engines, you have all the killer stuff going in, but you're going to find out who's the baddest on a 275. And I think that as long as you're talking to the racers and they want to know that their opinions count for something. I'm just telling you, whether they want to talk to you. And so I think that, if you listen to them and that's what I think is the biggest thing, is to be able to figure out, what's the next class. Don't just get spun out on one thing, Radio versus the World. That's great. I love Radio versus the World, but I also love Pro 275 or, even DXP Street, something where we can keep everybody running the same exact combination. So I just think that you definitely, some people I'm sure don't reach out and talk to them. I like to talk to them because I do like to hear what they got to say.
So recently, the news in the last week has been, Wade Rich has left South Georgia Motorsports Park in Orlando, and obviously, your events have been well known for the track prep, but guys, just home run derby. I mean, just incredible. What are you guys planning to change for your October events to kind of bring that element back into the fold? Now that there's a personnel change.
First, I'd like to say I think that was probably the biggest misstep in track prep history of what he did by leaving Orlando. My opinion, I think that they had a heck of a team. I think it was a bad misstep. I hope he finds what he's looking for. I don't feel like that he will ever get a chance leaving Ozzy Moya. He won't, unless things change. You won't have that radial stuff. You won't have, the West Buck Pro Mod deal that they had, the Prostock Pro Mod deal. Like Orlando and South Georgia brought a lot to the track prep thing. I guess what I would say, like, I'm never really worried about, you got to realize, let's say that we did 20 events. Okay. Wade's probably only really prepped about 13 of those events. We've had other people. So I love Wade. I think he does a phenomenal job. One of the greatest that there is. I just don't understand the move on that part. But what I'm more looking for as far as our races is not the one guy. Like the last race we did, I brought in more of a team to do. What I wanted was not a one-man show. What I thought was more important is the team of people. I want 5 guys that can scrape and drag, and it's great to have a guy that has that knowledge and go, okay, yeah, we need to spray or we need to drag. But what I want is the team of people there, and that's what we have now. And
it's incredible insight, Donald. Yeah, it's so true.
I need a team of people. If something happens to somebody, I need somebody else to swoop in there, and that's what I think we have now. So.
Well, I think it's an incredible piece of insight, man. And one of our real goals with this show is to provide value to racers and promoters and team owners and industry members. And I tell you what, I think that was a masterclass on spreading that burden around. And I appreciate you taking the time, Donald. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the racetrack again soon. Obviously, I don't know if I'll be at the COVID-8 or what exactly, whatever it's going to become known as, but I'm excited to get back down there, man. I'm telling you, I missed lights out because I had something bad. I don't know that I had what everybody's so afraid of, but I was very ill, and I'm looking forward to getting back down to South Georgia Motorsports Park.
I appreciate it. Whether it's the COVID-8 or the Loco Ocho or the Grade 8 or whatever it is, I just think that, I'd like to get, even if we bring in 10 cars and do an 8-car shootout.
Man, thank you for spending some time with us, man.
All right. Alex, Michael, Wes, thank y'all. Have a great night.